Hello, how you guys doing? James here. Well, I'm gonna talk a couple videos. One is gonna be on Tyler Perry, and this other one's gonna be on Halle Berry. And it's a very interesting take on what the content creators said about this. And then after I play a few videos, and then I'm gonna finally tell you about this other situation with recently with the last video, last people. But it's all this one's gonna be about celebrities. So hope you enjoy the video. So here we go. Like okay.
About Halle Berry, but not just Halle Berry, about how some of our sisters of a particular age go out and embarrass themselves, try to stay relevant, or compete with 20-some-year-old women when it comes down to getting the man or keeping the man. Now, don't get me wrong, I like seeing beautiful women or women that I find beautiful in bikinis or in their bra and panties or in it all together. But it depends on the situation. But I really do think that when you're a mother, and even as a father, there's ways you can conduct yourself. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you. If I saw my mom by all the internet, her bikini showing off her ass and breasts, I would be mortified. Now, I'm not saying that I'm a prude or she's supposed to be shamed and something, but it's a thing called decorum. It's a thing called respect. But the thing about it, the reason why more so why I'm critical of Halle Berry, because over the last 20 years or so, she's given interviews where she's just bashed brothers. Now, when Halle Berry first came on scene, she wasn't a big star, but she was known because there wasn't a lot of sisters on TV or in movies with these roles. And that's not, I mean, you know, the Halle Berry years ago is not the same Halle Berry days. Obviously, she had some plastic surgery. Skin got a little bit lighter than what it normally is. Now, it could have been the makeup, too, that she wore at the time. But we go look at Halle Berry then versus now, you can tell the difference. The sun was not as pronounced, but it's subtle. Now, when Halle Berry started becoming popular among black folk, she was talking about where she from or where she get her name from. She got her name from the department store. Mom named her Halle after the department store. We all know that. We know that Halle Berry's father is black, her mother is white. But Halle Berry presents as black, look black, her mother told her, let her know you're a black woman. That don't mean that Halle Berry doesn't have any issues. She got a lot of daddy issues in the show. Now, Halle Berry dated black men over the years. Wesley Snipes, David Justice, some other brothers. She was married to Eric Benet. But they all had problems. And people assume, based off what she projected or what the media projected, that the brothers was involved. And don't get me wrong, there are black men out here who are screwed up. And there are black women out here screwed up. But when she told the story, it was almost like she was talking about her dad. And somehow it always got turned back to her father. And it's very noticeable, to be honest with you. So when she got married to Eric Benet, all of a sudden she had blew up. She did the Dorothy Daniels movie. That's what white folks really took notice of. People say, no, Luke's not saying no. Dorothy Daniels did. I remember Janet Jackson was trying to do that movie. But Halle Berry was able to do it because Halle Berry resembled Dorothy Daniels a lot more. Remember Vince Spiner played Lieutenant Commander David Starr. He was in that movie, that HBO movie. The X-Men movie. Remember next time I moved cast X-Men movie. Remember they mixing Angela Bassett would do it, but the woman had said she turned it down or she wasn't ever offered. Everybody was glad to have her because she was popular at that moment. And white guys took notice, especially they found out her origins, her background. They fetishized her. And I remember when I was telling me and my father and brother was talking about it, we all said white guys busted out there because of her background. It's obvious, black men, we know. Yeah, she vowed to to never expose her breast in a movie. There was an interview, well-known interview, but she's done a Spike Lee done. She was in Jungle Fever, and she played a crackhead that was Sam Jackson's girlfriend, and Spike Lee wanted her to expose her breast, at least one of her breasts, and she refused to. That may be because she was young and she was shy. I get it. And yeah, when you get older, you become a little bit more an exhibitionist where you don't care. But Halle Berry exposed really showed a breast in that movie with John Travolta and X-Men co-star Hugh Jackman, full display. And then she did that Monster Ball movie and had that graphic sex scene with Billy Bob Thornton. And I tell you to this day, unless you watch porn, even porn is certain you won't go there. But there were none of these well-known white actresses would ever, I don't care how bad they created this, would ever do a movie where they do a scene like doing a black man. They won't do it. The studio won't green light. And the actors won't do it. The brothers right now when they get caught doing it. And that's when a lot of brothers got turned off by, got over it, do certain things like black women. Oh, this is a tour de force performance. Blah, 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 blah. And when you, and like I said, I remember I saw that movie. I'm like, really? Wow. A lot of black men, she wanted to get the war, and a lot of brothers turned off, and then she turned around her husband's bus. She divorced him, so he was a sex addict. Embarrassed the brother. Embarrassed when they never bad mouth during that time. Now, years later, when they brought Eric Benet up, I think, or Dave Justice, and they was talking, and they said, we know how she is, she got issues. I remember Inside Edition, they was talking about her because around that time, when she was a child, the first child was doing the problems. And when she said that he called her a racial slur, the first thing white women did, don't believe her. She's a crazy. You know what, bitch? Now, y'all was cheering on when she was talking about black men today. But when she said this white man, she's playing a race card. And then the court turned around and said, you got to pay him support. That dude by trade wasn't an actor. Halle Berry, that was her job. I don't agree with people making the system make you pay because you got more money or what, especially if y'all both supposed to be working, sharing custody, supposed to be equal. And if she got primary custody, why she paying that dude? But okay, fine.
And traumatic system.
She should not learn her lesson. No, she didn't go to her brother. She went to the Hispanic white. Got pregnant by him. Rachel's going to rock. Criticized and said there's something wrong with Halle Berry. And those are the black men, especially like Jody. There's something wrong. Or at least she don't know how to pick the right men. So now she's paying support to both these dudes. Now once she got back on the date scene, she was dating 20-some-year-old dude that didn't last. She wanted to get that guy could still pull somebody younger, somebody attractive. Everybody knew that was a current dude. And the reason why I bring all this and say all that, bring it to this. It's being reported that she said they would get married, she wanted to do a prenup. Now get this. You get with two dudes who weren't black, and you didn't say prenup to them. And they suppose you said they disrespected, dogged you out. But you give the brothers that you claim to love, he claims to love, you say to him, if we get married, we prenup. So I don't want you messing with my money. Now, I don't have a problem with somebody saying prenup, because I really do think people need to protect their assets. Because I don't want nobody, I give somebody, and if it don't work out, they profit my money that I earn, or I was getting, making a living before. I don't think feel like Tiger Woods. I can't stand Tiger Woods. His wife was a professional ass wife, and I'm not knocking maids or nannies and stuff, but that's what she did. She was an that's why people picture him entirely control his purpose for a particular woman he got with her, and then he got arrogant, got his rich. He went out there doing what Michael Jordan, Charles Barkley doing, sitting around. She got found, he got found out. She attacked him and cheered it on. And then when they got divorced, she got a ungodly amount of his fortune. And she never swung a damn golf club in her life, I don't believe. Not as a professional. But I digress. Howie set up here and said, you gotta get a prenup from me. For you had to have a prenup. The other two dudes, no. So I would say to any black man in their right mind, if they get with Howie, you do it at your own risk. And like I said, these brothers that she did in the past have been very worth an asshole. But when she got to start giving interviews and generalizing black men, you notice no black men, we don't talk about Halle Berry like we did back in the day. We don't Sophia Loren her or Raquel Welcher. And what I mean is, when they start getting old, we still talk about them as sex gods or looking in a particular way. Don't get me wrong. If Halle Berry came in my house tonight, even when we grieving for my father and said, Harvey, I want to screw you, do you think I would turn it down? Fuck no. I'm still a man. But if she said she wanted to be in a relationship with me, I'd say, I don't think so. We can go out and hang out, be friends and benefits. But no. Because you got too many issues. You got daddy issues. And I'm not, look, I know we like to vilify fathers at times and shit. And like I said, I love it. I miss my dad. He wasn't a perfect man, but my father never abandoned me. He never denied who I was. But at the same time, we don't know what Adam father would remember. He got with a white woman, he had a child with a white woman. We don't know what kind of pressures was going on. We don't know how her family and friends treated this man. So you don't know the reason why. Maybe he can probably take care of it. He was ashamed or something. We don't know. But how he went out there and she used her father as a measuring stick and she projected her father onto other brothers. But the white dudes or white Spanish dudes went out there and disrespectfully paying money out to these dudes. And the brother, you claim love, but you out there posing with bronze panties on, doing steamy photos. You didn't do none of that shit for white dudes. Matter of fact, she changed the whole wardrobe. Go back and look at the images how she was dressed. Because she wasn't going to disrespect the men like that. See, let me say this to some of you sisters out here. Some of y'all disrespect black men. Even if you're not dating that brother, I'm not saying you have to date ugly love. But when you sit out there and purposely disrespect black men like this, we look at you like you're going to be left to your own devices. So if you notice when she got talked about divorce, white folk were more critical of her.
Let's talk about
you notice the black men in particular say, oh, she back on the market. Because ain't nobody, first of all, cats like us, we never get close to her. One, you live in different states. Two, she got security. And she's really going to interact with people that she's working around with. Or have a certain amount of money. So, we don't that fantasy we have about certain, we don't have about her. I mean, think about it. New black media, have you any brother, we talk about a beautiful black woman. You mean midget up, we don't fix it on her like we probably did 20, 25 years ago, nearly 30 years ago. The Halle Berry is a strictly business with Tommy Davis and Joseph C. Phillips. That's what I felt with. Halle Berry was in what's the movie? With Eddie Murphy. I hate the title, I'm going to play that. That was the Halle Berry I fell in love with. And Halle Berry was, even when she did that movie Bats, with the late Martin Landau and the sister on blank, Natalie, the one that died of cancer, I can't remember her name. Recently. I'm mixed up. She died of cancer. Yeah. got a cancer as well as both girl from Moesha. Uh,
Yeah, it was interesting about Halle Berry. But let's go back to the story.
September is Hunger Action Month, and Mid Ohio Food Collective is spreading the word that hunger exists in
What's good, everybody? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. When Jeezy married Jeannie Mai, a lot of the brothers thought that was cool. Basically because he had dealt with some people before that had some problems. And I'm talking about folks like, let me say, Keisha Cole. We know Keisha Cole is struggling, things like that. All right? Now, at this particular situation, when we saw Jeannie Mai, I guess a lot of us heard of her, but we didn't know her. We didn't know of her. We didn't know what she does or how she is. We just know that she's Jeannie Mai, she's Asian, she's pretty, she's on the real, but nobody knew her attitude. Okay? Until we started to see her be disrespectful to her white husband like this.
She had some choice words to describe you in an earlier show. Take a look.
I feel like I married my version of Billy. Yes, when he's sick and his mom is around, it's a totally different man that I don't even know. You stood up real quick. Do you know what it means?
I just found out what that is today.
It's a male.
Yeah.
What do you have to say about this description of you?
You know, one word that she brings up a lot is compassion for people's situations.
You can sit down.
And
You scared me right
considering,
now.
maybe I'm just looking for some compassion in situations, you know? Like,
From your mother.
yes, because if I don't get it at home, at least I can get it from my mother. You know?
Oh my God! Really feel. I love it.
So guys, did you see her call her husband at the time you know what a is? It's a male B word on national television in front of everybody. Absolutely no respect. A woman who lacks compassion. All right? That's the first thing. But secondarily, I think I've played this clip before, but I want you guys to hear how she really didn't have a lot of respect for the first husband and how Jeezy has to make her respect him. Let's play that.
For example, I have a really hot temper. Not a lot of people know this, but it's just something in my family. I've seen it in my grandmother. I saw it in my grandfather, to my grandmother, to my mom, to my aunts, to me, right? But I didn't notice it in myself until I was with Jeezy.
Interesting. You didn't notice in your previous marriage?
No, because it has to do with the type of relationship you have and the type of respect you have for that person to mirror things back to you where you actually would stop you in your tracks and evaluate yourself, you know?
So you had it.
So I had it, but
Acknowledge it as a problem.
nobody ever called me out on it. Also, in my line of work, sometimes being a boss isn't so great for you because you have a lot of people who just agree to what you want. They're yes men, right? And so I didn't notice that I had a hot temper until I got with Jeezy, and here's a person who is my equal and I really respect. And when I would spew some of my old habits, and he was like, like, ooh, that's not flying here. And also, it would trigger him to come back at me with things where I was like, the fuck do you think you are? But I was triggering him. So through work, we learned that we both have certain habits that to the everyday person, from friends, family, fans, they'll never see it. But to the person who loves us deep enough, you can press that button and boom, the dragon comes out.
You see, let me tell you something, guys. Again, this is why, and I'm gonna be real, a lot of these professional chicks, like Jeannie Mai, they're used to being maybe a boss or whatever. You know, I will tell you that this is one of the reasons why they stay away from professional guys, successful guys, because they get checked. And this is the reason why she didn't have a kid with the first husband, but she had one with Jeezy. And the reality is they don't know when to stop. Nobody has ever checked them. They just go around doing things rapidly, and just running rampant. I've encountered women like that, where can't nobody tell them nothing. They're just running crazy, doing whatever they want to do, and they go around living in a false sense of reality. No actual self-awareness, like, they want you to be self-aware. In fact, Jeannie Mai even said it. She likes self-aware people, but she ain't self-aware. Just going around, just dusting it all the way up. Just doing stuff that doesn't make any sense. Completely. Alright? That is the case. Completely dusting it up. Completely sailing it all the way up. And so, when you don't have no respect or compassion for your mate, and you have a bad temper, and you're not self-aware, oh yeah, a guy who ain't got no money can deal with that. Absolutely. A guy who's broke can deal with that. Okay? All day. A guy who's a coochie beggar, he can deal with that. Until you come across somebody who will tell you, get your shit and get out. I ain't playing no games with you. Get out. Oh, I'm getting out. Who do you think you are? Who do you think you talking to? Hold on, we're gonna read. And let me just tell you this. Just because you have money, don't mean you gotta disrespect people or disrespect women. That's one of the things I used to always think, well, I got a little bit of money, so now I can just say, no. That's not what that means, brother. Money in your career is what you do. It ain't who you are. Those are different concepts. I don't know why people get it mixed up. Because I got some money, that give me the opportunity to boss folks around everywhere in my life. And no, this ain't about you gonna listen to somebody in this life. Hey, this is a give and take game. Sometimes I'm bossing, sometimes I'm listening, sometimes I'm not. But that don't give me the right to, when I come home, to be rude to a woman or...
We definitely have ants in here.
Not for long.
Great. Nice.
What's going on here?
New breed, global truth. Oh man. So it seemed like the B-dubs are upset. They got their knickers in a bunch. Cause Tyler Perry spoke the truth. What is going on, everybody? What is going on? As you enter the broadcast, make sure you pound that like button on your way in. Tyler Perry recently did a sit down with some podcast. I don't really keep in touch with too many of these people, but he has some choice words for women who economically secure, who happen to be single. And he told B-dubs directly. I mean, he listed B-dubs, in case you wonder what that term is. We're talking about black women are pissed off at Tyler Perry right now. It might be over for Tyler Perry. He put it all on the line, speaking something that was real true. He said that, you pretty much been hoodwinked and bamboozled to believing that pursuing career and success would somehow give you happiness, and it's not seeming to work out that way. We're pretty much dying off as a people because our women are pretty much solo, and it's an issue. So this is what Tyler Perry had to say, and I'm going to chime in. Here we go. Hold on, let me see if I can pull that video. And here we go.
Listen, a lot of women, especially black women, and I might get in trouble for saying this, but I will. In our society right now, black women are making a lot more money for the most part than black men, right? There are a lot of black men who are successful, but for the most part, black women are making the money. So if you can find love, if that man works, at whatever job, and is a good man, and is good to you, and honors the house, and honors his wife, and does what he can, because his gift may not be your gift.
Exactly.
That is okay. That's not somebody who's beneath you.
Yeah.
That's somebody who came to love you at your worth, right?
Yes.
And as long as he's secure in himself to know that, yep, she makes most of the money, all I can pay is the light bill. As long as she's comfortable enough to say, I'm going to cover the mortgage and all the other stuff, you can have the light bill, baby, you can take me to dinner every now and then. That is fine.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah.
But that's so hard for a lot of people to take in, because that means, no, I need somebody to, who is, they need to make 5 times more, and I got to have, don't keep your list, baby.
Yeah.
God bless you, hope it happens. Don't keep your list. But when you talk about just someone to love you and support you, I know people whose men can't touch what they make.
Man, oh man. Tyler Perry. Too little, too late, sir. Too little, too late. I mean, they already in their ways, bruh. It is what it is. And you know, he knew he was gonna get pushed back. He said, look, I might get in trouble for this. To show you how far gone a lot of our sisters are when it comes to their scope of reality and what their purpose is in life, which is to serve a man. To show you how far gone they are. He knew he was gonna get pushed back. He said, look, I might get in trouble for saying this. And yeah, you in trouble. He's in hot water. A lot of people are not happy with this, you know, these comments he made. And here's the thing, you know, it's not going to change anything. So he pretty much jeopardized his career for no reason, because it's really not going to change anything when it comes to the modern woman. She's just going to get mad, upset, and continue doing what she's doing. But I mean, nonetheless, I believe it was admirable of Tyler Perry to say what he said, because here's the thing. In Hollywood, you never know what he knows. He may know something is coming, and that BWs are going to need protection. You know, Hollywood insiders, they have a lot of things that are introduced to them that may not be introduced to the general public. And he may know the importance of you ladies getting yourselves a husband instead of trying to pursue career and be living in them big ass haunted houses y'all live in. You know what I'm saying? By yourselves. And my thing is, it's like this, right? I'm just here to make concubines great again. If anything, at least be somebody's concubine. At least have a man for the weekend. At least have a man that comes over and he can surveil the area. At least have a brother that you're dealing with that is a spiritual brother, a covering that can keep you protected. And when I say spiritual brother, I mean a brother who's following the scriptures, a brother who has some know-how, a brother who is resourceful, a brother who has understanding, a brother who can actually protect you physically. You know, at the very least, sisters, be somebody's concubine. I mean, damn. If your career is everything, if you want to work and do what you do, and it's all up, and that's pretty much the centerpiece of your life, I'm not even here to give you any pushback no more. I have adapted to the modern society. We're not living in that time where a brother got to be all traditional and live in a traditional setting. Here's the fact of the matter. Be somebody's concubine, pursue your career, and when you need companionship, cleave to a real brother. It's really as simple as that. That's the only option, really. Because I'm going to tell you right now, Tyler Perry, it's not going to make a difference in what he said. The only thing that just did was piss them off, because Tyler Perry, you supposed to be stroking the ego of the B-dubs, not telling them the truth. You know, that's what you're supposed to do to keep your, to pretty much keep your empire going. Isaiah 13:12. I will make a man more precious than fine gold, even a man than the golden wedge of Ophir.
See, that's the time it's coming into. Finding a righteous man is going to be like finding pure gold. That's what it's coming to. Due to the high levels of incarceration, due to, you know, a lot of these guys turning homosexuals, due to a lot of brothers dying early, you know, you ladies have slim pickings. And then you have the brothers who are considered high value that most women want to get at, and they have multiple women already. So it's like you can make your decision to chill out and settle down with the brothers who are just striving, good men who working at, you know, FedEx or UPS, working warehouse jobs. You know, you need to put your pride to the side and get yourself some protection. Get yourself ahead.
So excited to get laser hair removal today at Ideal Image. Let's check it out.
What's good, everybody? It's your brother Mad Black, the most dangerous and the most toxic black man on the internet. The brother who told you you probably should not be listening to this big, tall Negro in a dress, but you did it anyway, and now he's got you all confused about love and finances. And I'm black up in your face again with some more pro-black commentary. So I've been seeing a lot of people talk about some commentary where Tyler Perry was being interviewed on some show where he's literally sitting there snuggled up in the pillows. I just laugh when I see stuff like that because this man makes it so obvious that he's not heterosexual all the time, but people still listen to him and listen to what his opinion is about heterosexual relationships. It's just funny to me, right? But he made a comment basically saying that I guess black women need to quote unquote settle for in their relationships. Like you don't have to worry about a man not making a lot of money or whatever, or if if the woman makes more money, she still is okay to be with a man who can't pay any bills at all, and if he just pays a light bill or whatever, that's okay. Just go ahead and settle for that or whatever, right? I'm gonna play the audio so you folks can hear it yourselves, so I'm not being accused of making something up. But let me just preface it before I play the audio and just say that what I don't like and what I'm starting to get tired of is the narrative. And what I mean by the narrative is this whole idea that like all black men are just broke and dusty and not trying, because that's the response that a lot of women gave to Tyler Perry about his statement, making it seem like black men need to step up their game, their financial game. Even the duck face Ebony K. Williams, she said the same thing, like black men need to step up. I'm trying to speak life into black men and get them to step up their financial game or whatever. So there's this narrative like that every black man is just broke, dusty, struggling, and every black woman is living in the life of luxury and, going out to take trips to Dubai and buying Gucci bags and, living the lifestyles of the rich and famous, and black men are basically just dusty and broke, living on the street or whatever. And it's that ridiculous. That's the narrative that is built around this entire dating situation, right? So, I just want to dispel that nonsense, because that's a false narrative that a lot of people seem to take. And the dumb part is this narrative is nothing new. This has been going on really since the late 80s, early 90s, where, black women started becoming a little bit more upwardly mobile financially, and they made it seem as if black men weren't good enough anymore, or they weren't doing as well anymore. And this is a propaganda that's been kind of pushed on black people by the American government and a lot of these shows and the media, where they're basically lying to black people and making it seem as if black women are doing so much better than black men. The truth of the matter is, it's black women are gaining more degrees and, education where they should be doing financially better. Okay, and I'm going to explain that a little bit more, but let me play what Tyler Perry said first before I get too deep into it. So let me play what he actually said, and you folks can hear what he's talking about in his video. Like I said, I won't play the video itself, but I'll show you just the images. He's snuggled up in these pillows here on the couch. I'm like, dude, what are you doing? What kind of grown man snuggles up in pillow like this when he's doing an interview? This is ridiculous. Well, let's play what he has to say here.
A lot of women, especially black women, and I might get in trouble for saying this, but I will. In our society right now, black women are making a lot more money for the most part than black men, right? There are a lot of black men who are successful, but for the most part, black women are making the money. So if you can find love, if that man works, at whatever job, and is a good man, and is good to you, and honors the house, and honors his wife, and does what he can, because his gift may not be your gift.
Exactly.
That is okay. That's not somebody who's beneath you.
Yeah.
That's somebody who came to love you at your work, right?
Yeah.
And as long as he's secure in himself to know that, yep, she makes most of the money, all I can pay is the light bill, as long as she's comfortable enough to say, I'm going to cover the mortgage and all the other stuff, you can have the light bill, baby, you can take me to dinner every now and then, that is fine.
Yeah.
That's fine.
That's ridiculous is what that is. In what scenario does that exist? Like, where is that happening at? Where that's all the man can pay, or that's all he can do financially, and the woman takes care of everything else? Stop that. Stop promoting that trash. Let's listen to some more.
Yeah.
But that's so hard for a lot of people to take in, because that means, no, I need somebody to, they need to make 5 times more, and I got to have. Don't keep your list, baby. Yeah. God bless you. Hope it happens. Don't keep your list. But when you talk about just someone to love you and support you, I know people whose men can't touch what they make. But when you see them together, that love, that support, that I got you, babe, it's a beautiful thing.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
Okay, all right. So that's what he said. Okay, and the divestors and the black boss chicks on social media have been having a field day with this, right? They've been going berserk over this, pulling their weaves out and everything else about what Tyler Perry had to say. So I don't like it either, and I don't like what he's had to say either, because once again, I don't like this narrative that black men are just all dusty and broke and not doing well financially, and their women are taking care of them. That's not true. Okay? Never has been, and it's definitely not true now. Okay? Just because there are women out there that are at this point maybe doing a little bit better financially, that still does not make them the breadwinners all the time either, or the bigger breadwinner, I should say. Alright? For one thing, the numbers, what I was going to explain earlier is like the numbers are that there are more black women getting more of these degrees and getting, better educated. That's what's happening. Okay? And that's where you need to leave it at. But that does not correlate with financially all the time. Okay? That's where people mess up with some of these statistics that they keep putting out there. Yes, there are more black women getting these degrees, and even so, there are more black women starting businesses. That still does not mean that they are doing better than black males financially. Everyone who starts a business does not mean that they're successful. It also depends on what type of business, as well as to where you're going to be making more money or whatever. Anyone can get an LLC. Anyone can do a side hustle and make a little bit of money, but that does not necessarily mean that you are more financially successful than the males in your demographic.
That's true.
Right? It also does not mean that because a male decides not to go to college and get a degree, that he is suffering financially. His job might not be glamorous, but it does not mean he is broke and dusty. there are a lot of black males out there who at this point have decided to forego going to college and stop wasting their time and their money and energy with that and going straight into a trade. And there's nothing wrong with that. Okay? In fact, that's more financially lucrative, and they're able to stack their money a lot faster than a lot of these black females can. Okay? Because they're starting at a profit and not in debt. Exactly. A lot of these black females that do get these degrees and try to start off in a job at the bottom, they're starting off in debt. Mm-hmm. You understand that?
That's true.
There are black men who are not starting off that way. Like I always give my little brother as an example. You know, God rest his soul. He's passed away now, but he actually did better than me on a financial level because, like, he was at my level now when he was a lot younger because he didn't go to college. He went and got a trade. He went to the tech trade. And he was able to make more money and able to buy a house way before I was. Okay? So, you can't just sit back and denigrate somebody because they decide to go a different route than you. Once again, yeah, his job was not glamorous. He's climbing up on, telephone poles and redoing cable and satellites and stuff like that, Say with my older brother who was doing working on like trees, like working as like a lumberjack and whatnot, right? That's not glamorous, but that pays money because a lot of those jobs are extremely dangerous, right? So they pay very well. So that's what I mean though, like people will make it seem as if black men are like dusty because they're poor. No, if a black man is dusty, normally it's because he's literally dusty from whatever hard work or labor he's doing. Just because you have a blue collar job though does not mean you are broke and struggling. A lot of those black men are doing way better financially than a lot of these black females are and make more money in the long run, right? So that's what I just want to get across. There's a miscalculation of some of these numbers here. And when I say this, I'm not saying this to degrade black women. I'm proud of our sisters out there that actually do go out there and get their education. They're actually able to use it for something productive. Now, there's a lot of bullshit that black women get degrees in, and then in order to compensate for it being a bullshit degree where you can't really make any money, they wind up getting a social media account or starting, some sort of blog or something like that, and they lie to other black women to make themselves seem better. And there's a lot of black female scam artists out there these days as well. A lot of black females out there go out there and put on pounds of makeup and put on, a dress suit or whatever and make it seem as if they are balling out of control or they're this big author. They'll self-publish books. They'll make a phony ass course or something like that, and basically we're out there taking people for their money. I see that a lot with a lot of black females. I get approached by a lot of them too on my social media apps and whatnot, right? Them trying to get me to buy their course or whatever bullshit that they're selling, right? And a lot of them are just not legit, sad to say. But what I'm saying is, I'm proud of the black women out there that are doing something like a little bit more productive with the degrees they're getting. There are black women out there doing stuff, and usually it's those black women who are actually doing something productive, like women like my wife, who's actually, working as a doctor or whatever, not a medical doctor, but she has her PhD and, she works mostly just doing stats and stuff like that. Like, women who actually have jobs like that or who have degrees like that, they're not the ones on social media running their mouth about men need to do this, that, and the third. One reason because they're way too busy, right? Because their degree actually meant something, so they're actually doing something productive for society. Looking at the numbers of, like my wife is obviously, because of COVID, was very busy working with the health department and everything else. So, like, when you're doing stuff like that, you're actually doing something meaningful in life. You're not out here running your mouth about bullshit 24/7 and what men are not doing or what females are doing or whatever, right? But a lot of times, you'll have these people out here, they keep repeating a lot of these false narratives about the financial situations that go on within the black community. And when they're not honest about the very basics of what they're saying, they still keep building more ridiculous narratives on top of that. So if you start with the narrative that all black men are broke and black women are making more money, when you start with that false narrative, then you start building this other false narrative on top, making it seem like black men need to step up their game or whatever. Black men work harder than most any other man I've ever seen in my life. Most black men that I know personally work harder than any other group of men I've ever seen in my life. Okay, and black men don't get the homeboy hookup that white men get. I'm just keeping it real. And I'm talking about black men who work both white collar and blue collar. They don't get the homeboy hookup like white boys do. Alright? Black men have to overprove themselves in a lot of situations when it comes to, you know, getting ahead in whatever field they're in. And a lot of times, I'm just going to keep it real, if I see a black man who's at the top of any field, I know he busted his ass. I know it was not given to him. And that's just my opinion on things. Even if the black guy is someone that I don't like on a personal level, I can always say that he worked hard to get where he is. You see what I'm saying? Like, he and I might not agree on our politics or something like that, but I know at the very least he busted his ass to get there, right? And he might even have to do some things that he didn't want to do just to get where he's at. Okay? So, you know, like I said, this whole nonsense that, you know, all black men are just sitting back, being broke and dusty, and then their women are doing all the hard work or whatever, that's nonsense. And if there is some truth to that, there are women out there in these so-called, but a lot of them really, they just have like a high-paying job or something like that, but then they'll deliberately date down some dusty dudes. You see, they'll literally go and date Pookie and Ray Ray type, and that's on you at that point. That you can go find some other man doing something more productive, but then if there is a man that's on your financial level, he's not going to want to put up with a lot of your bullshit.
That's true.
Okay, he knows that,
right, you
know, whatever corporate job you have or whatever business you started, okay, that's fine, but that doesn't mean you have the right to give him an attitude or make it seem like you're better than he is. Mm-hmm. He's not going to put up with that. Mm-hmm. You know, if I'm a blue collar man and I've worked hard all day, or maybe I'm a white collar man working in tech or something like that, I'm come home, I'm tired at the end of the day, I don't want to hear your bullshit, right? And they're not going to put up with a lot of that nonsense, or you acting like, you know, you're the princess on a pedestal or your shit doesn't stink. They're not going to put up with that. Mm-hmm. They're not going to put up with the sour lemon duck face like Ebony K. Williams gives at the end of the day. So, but like I said, their pay is still more comparable. A lot of times they can make more than you do, than a lot of these females do. So this whole narrative that, you know, every black man is just sitting back, or, you know, just sitting around dusty and broke, and the black women are living it up and acting as if they are better than black men, because that's basically what the narrative has been drilled into their heads, that they are better than black men, and that's nonsense. And I know for a fact that a lot of these females out here who are the gurus, who talk a lot of this divestment stuff, or black women are better, a lot of them are faking the funk too. A lot of them are broke, dusty, living in like little efficiencies or one-bedroom apartments or whatever, and just pretending that they are some big-time author or influencer or whatever. A lot of these chicks, when you look into their background, they're broke or they're scamming people out of money. And another thing about some of these black females out there that always chant that black men need to step up their game financially, I call BS on that one, because when I look at their personal lives, I see that if the man is not black, especially if he's white, then he doesn't have to step anything up. The only thing he has to step is into her house and into her bedroom, mm-hmm. right? Mm-hmm. So when it comes to Snow Brad and Chad and Biff and all these other white boy names, when they're broke, that's okay. And you see it very often when you see some of these black female celebrities, the black female celebrity normally has more money than her man, the white man, right?
Mm-hmm.
But that's okay. It's okay for the white boy to be lower than her financially. She'll take care of him.
Yep.
In fact, she'll do just like Halle
Yep.
Berry. Even if
Yep.
they get divorced or they
that's true.
separate, she'll make sure that he has some money and child support and alimony, right? So that's the only thing that I can't
that's
stand
true.
is the hypocrisy amongst some of these females, like the divestors and the swirlers and the black man haters. Because the truth of the matter is, when it's a white boy, you don't care what he does.
Nope.
The white boy doesn't have to have this high executive job. He doesn't have to have more money than you do. Hell, the white boy can be a maintenance man. He can be a bus driver. He can be living on the streets. And you'll have these black women take them in. In fact, there was a popular divestor a couple of years ago who literally took a white man off the street and his son and moved him in with them. And she had a special needs child, and she moved this white man in there, and this white man was physically abusing her and her child. You see what I'm saying? So that's why I don't, take these females seriously, because a lot of the stuff that they're saying is nonsense anyway, and they love to perpetuate that narrative that black women are just doing so well financially, and all black men must be broke, or they have to be. Because, like I said, that fits their ridiculous narrative. So you have to be careful when you listen to that type of nonsense from them. But also, I'm not going to say you should listen to Tyler Perry, a man who is sexually confused and morally and religiously confused and everything else. Don't listen to this dude either. Okay? I mean, because let's talk about how he became successful, basically putting on a minstrel show for the last few decades or so, right? So, you folks let me know how you feel about it in the comments section.
Yeah, I'm going to close the video out with what I'm going to say. When it comes with the last part, that's true. And it seemed like it's a deeper cause. Like, why do these same women, that black women that come at, not all, but some that do come at black men like that, why is it when they think that meeting the particular guy, that the white guy that think he can have the same personality as the Pookie and Ray Ray? He might not want to apply and go to school. He might not have, like he said, might not have a good paying job. He may be a cheater and abuser. So what is the difference? So really, it comes down to personality or who you want. But with some females, I think it's something deeper, because by them, if they are, particularly if they're able to have a child, they really, there's a small segment of black women that really don't like themselves, but they don't want to reproduce that something that look like them, a part of them, and that's the truth. And they think by getting with this other person that it's going to be like a soap opera, but it's not. It's not what you think it's going to be, because sometimes the grass is green on the side. So that's very true. And be grateful what you have, man. I mean, you should just be grateful of what kind of man. And there's a lot of good men out there, good black men that are hard working. They don't have the best paying job, but hey, they're able to take care of themselves. They're able to keep some transportation, and that should be what matters. That he gets up and be motivated. He ain't got a record, he ain't abusive. Get the one that ain't abusive, and ain't trying to get you to the jail or to the grave or the hospital. That's what it should be about. But you have some women that just don't know what a good man is, so they lose out to other different women in some cases, and so those women get your man. But sometimes the grass ain't green on the other side either, because you see what you mind. So really, you have to get to know the character of a person. You have to get to know the character, whether you're male or female. And like I said, I've dated women that had that kind of mentality in the past. And not the nicest face I put up I was the most passive person. But even I had enough. And I just said, that's it. Because this person thought they was going, I have this nice face, or I have it wrapped around my finger. And she thought that way. And she kept on thinking that way. And then I cut her off. Just like that. Because I felt disrespected. I ain't go to no blowout big out arguing, cussing back and forth, and I just left the women alone. You know, you don't act like you don't have no respect for me. Ain't no sense me being around you. If you don't have no respect for me as a human being, ain't no sense of being around you. And that's simply what men are saying. If you don't get if you can't, a person should have to feel like they have to be challenged all the time. Particularly a man. Regardless of his height, his size, his personality, you shouldn't challenge him. And there's some women out there that will challenge your personality. And it's because there's some guys just say, I don't want to argue with them, let her cool off. And she keep going until one day you said, that's it. I done had enough of your mess. Then it gets to look like, you dumping me? Yeah, it's a wrap. You don't respect me as a human being, as a man. So these modern women, some of these modern women are going to find that out. That's why you see them running to social media all the time. Some of the women that be out there complain about the men going overseas, because you have to look at them. Why are they complaining? See, the women who have a man online complaining. The women that know how to keep a man ain't complaining. And to be happy with what you have, regardless of the race of man. You know, I forgot to say this. When I was dating different types of women, I never put any race of woman. And I've dated some non-black women. I've never put another race of woman over another woman. You know why? Because at the end of the day, she's a woman. Had nothing to do with, well, this white woman or this Hispanic woman is better. No, women are women. You just, because you can meet some date outside and date 10, 20 good Hispanic white women, and they all got some issues till you meet that one. You might have come across that one that was a good woman, but based on her character, not because her ethnic background, particularly in America. And I'm pretty sure it might be in other places too. So be happy with what you got. And a lot of women don't know how to be happy with what they have. And when they have everything, they don't appreciate the companionship. They don't use the wisdom of their mind. Number one thing, when you have a companion, you might need someone there to support you if you ever get sick or something might happen to you. You can break down on the highway. Something might happen to you. Sometimes friends and family ain't gonna be there, but your companion will be. You need to think about that. When you're a woman, that's what having a companion. Because sometimes, and maybe your brother, your father, your cousin, whoever it might be, they might not be around, but you have a companion, he will be there. You might be going through something that medically you want someone to be there. See, too bad women don't see the whole picture in this. And sometimes, if you have the right person that help you get you through these obstacle things in life, this we call relationship. No perfect relationship is happening, but it's a work in process. Are you willing to put in the work? Ask any married couple. I'm not married, but I've seen other married couples. They don't just give up. Some people just don't give up. Because love don't give up. True love don't give up. So I hope, let me go on look. Let me just say, I hope there's women that understand what true love is. Like some men need to understand what true love is. It's action. It's not about what you can do for them. Not about challenging your womanhood and you challenging my manhood. In the long run, we're going to need each other, help each other out. That's what the whole marriage thing is about, relationship. You helping each other. Something happened to you, something happened to you, if I love you, I'm there for you. If you in the hospital or something like that, I can tell your family. If I'm in a situation, you tell my family, and you love me. That's what it's really about. That's a reality situation. Number two, you could be broke down somewhere. You know, something could happen to you in the house. And your husband there. The dog can only do so much. A cat can only do so much. And someone really need to think about it. And number two, maybe God has to change you into a giving person, a loving person, a trusting person. He'll send you someone that will. But if you was at that one point in time, you need to have him get your insecurities out. You got to deal with all of us, men and women, when it comes to that, with their insecurities. And I don't care how much money you make, because there are multi-billionaires and millionaires, and they ain't happy. They get everything. They have everything. The majority of people in this country, in other parts of the world, and they still ain't happy. That tells you something. Marriage was not designed for that. Marriage was designed for those tough times. Tough times build up character between the man and the woman. And so you gotta ask, does this woman, as a man, I have to ask, does this woman really love me? Or I'm just there for excitement? Or I'm just there on perception. So you gotta see the way I'm gonna respond to something. This is to test my manhood. Men don't like to be tested, ladies. And that's men want peace. A man will show his aggression when the time is right in certain situations. But don't belittle a man, any man. This is what you have to understand. A different part of our women, and a few other women, they don't get that. Don't push your man's anger, because it can be causing his physical health. Who wants to be mad and angry or hypertemperature all the time? Just because you get your rocks off, get him angry, but it's caused him medically could be having, because tension rises up high blood pressure and things like that. Think about it. No man wants to be angry all the time. No woman wants to be angry all the time. So you have to really use your head. A lot of there's women like that. So guys, be careful when a woman push your buttons. If she don't respect you because you have a nice personality, you're easygoing, find somebody that would appreciate an easygoing, nice going guy. You're too nice or whatever. Okay, I'm a blessing for somebody else. Because some woman out there will love a good man, a good-hearted, giving man. If you don't act like you got some sense as a woman, then I gotta leave you. Simple as that. I don't care how pretty you are. I don't care what you do for a living. It's the character I'm involved with. It's not the position and the classification. It's nothing. It's the character of the person I gotta wake up to if I choose to invest in that relationship. My time, my energy, my money. That's what men are saying. And that's what these men have been saying all along. That's why men have to fly halfway around the world to find that. Some are able to. And you sitting back mad and making these videos and don't understand why. You have to examine yourself. And take a look. And I don't care what age group you are. from 20 to 70. Ask yourself, is it you? Or you just perception? Or as simple as you? Can you be that submissive woman by the Bible? If you can't, then stop the playing. Because in the end, it's going to make you look bad. Alright then, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed this video. Yeah. And Tyler Perry, you know, he's at the top. So he's been at the bottom. So he's been at the top. He's a billionaire trying to tell you in his own words, you know. Like the couple of commentators say. So it's something to think about. And basically just keep on dreaming. Keep your list, keep on dreaming. Alright then, guys. You take care, be blessed, and good luck in your relationship. Take care. See you in the next video. Like, share, and subscribe. Take care.